Cisco, are you on the line?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, we're going to get started in 1 minute.
Okay, thank you.
I saw that, hey, Cisco, I saw you may have had a time limit.
Yes, I have to jump on an airplane. I'm sorry.
How much time do you have?
5 minutes.
Are you cut out?
45 minutes.
Did you say
40.
25?
No, 45. 4 5.
All right, it's coming in and out just for your information.
Okay, I'll try to get on the Wi-Fi. Thanks.
All right, everybody's ready to proceed. We'll go ahead and get started. So the State of Nevada Board of State Prison Commissioners.
Doesn't look like they can hear you.
Hello, can you hear me there in Carson City?
Oh, there it is.
Governor's Deputy Director Quang, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, we're getting started here now. Started again. State of Nevada Board of State Prison Commissioner scheduled for today, Friday, June 13th, 2025 at 1 p.m. Ms. Matson, can you do the roll call?
Governor Lombardo,
Present.
Attorney General Ford.
Here.
Secretary of State Aguilar.
Here.
Governor, we have a quorum.
All right. We'll move to agenda item number 2, the first opportunity for public comment. No vote or action may be taken upon a matter raised under this agenda item unless the matter is specifically posted on the agenda as an item upon which action may be taken. Board of State Prison Commissioners will impose a time limit of 3 minutes. Do we have anybody up there for public comment in Carson City?
Governor, we have 2 in the north.
All right, could you come forward, state your first and last name for the record?
Good morning. Jarrett Orcutt for the record.
Go ahead.
Good morning. I am the Educational Partnership Programs Coordinator at Truckee Meadows Community College. I oversee the Justice Involved Education Program, a partnership between TMCC, the Nevada Department of Corrections, and the Northern Nevada Transitional Housing. But I'm not here today in my official role. I'm here speaking on my own behalf to talk about my own reentry and what really worked. I've been incarcerated 3 times for trafficking in the state of Nevada, 17 years total. At the end of my last sentence, I was housed at NNTH when the TMCC computer lab was first installed, and TMCC received funding for those who are justice impacted. At first, my goals were small, but they felt huge to me. I wanted to work HVAC in data centers. I saw that I could get all the qualifications and certifications through TMCC and was blown away. I immediately dug into the prerequisites online from the center. However, what I found along the way turned out to be far more important. Access to higher education builds internal architecture, a moral and cognitive framework that's missing in prison, where hopelessness and survivalism dominate. I truly believe that most people in prison wish for a path to something better, but inside that wish feels foolish. Nobody wants to return to the same life that got them incarcerated, but there's rarely a real path forward. I had good intentions during my first 2 releases, but low-wage jobs and the pressures of poverty quickly pulled me back to what I knew. Wishes collapse under that weight. What made the real difference was exposure to the world of education. While pursuing my HVAC certificate, I discovered a deeper passion, helping others. Today, I'm not only in a career I love, but I've rebuilt relationships with my parents and children. I've gotten married. I'm helping others find a plan like me, build confidence, and imagine a future. The partnership between NNTH and TMCC opened that door and I walked through. Because of the support of Lieutenant Wilson, the NDOC administration, and the folks at TMCC, my life has changed for the better. I'll complete my bachelor's degree in December, and next I'll begin my master's in public administration. I want to learn how to create programs and shape systems that actually work for people. Big plans, yes, but that's what access to education can do. The computer lab gave me more than access to the internet and coursework. It gave me a second chance, and it gave me mentors who are now my colleagues. Thank you for your time, and please continue to support these efforts. It's making a difference. I'm living proof.
Thank you, sir.
My name's Jeff Hawkins. I represent Compani Automotive. I'm here in representation of Northern Nevada Correctional Centers and Western Nevada College. I help support the automotive program that goes through the NNCC. We need to take it to the next level, and the level we need to get to is being able to have internet to where we can teach at the standards that we work at today. I'm looking to hope to get some funding to help fund it so we can put the internet access for the students that are taking the program at NNCC, so we can develop a better program and get some successful students out of it that can come out into our work world and come to work making a great wage. I've got one I've been working with right now that's been released, that's been working with me for a few months. He's absolutely stellar. His attention to detail has been great, and I'm looking to make this statewide if we can. But first, we need to get some internet that is accessible for them to where they can learn at what we're teaching today and what we're working on today.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time. We have anybody else there in Carson?
No, sir.
Do we have anybody here in Las Vegas wishing to speak as part of public comment? There'll be two different periods for public comment. I'm sorry?
That would be the next.
I couldn't hear.
She wants to comment on visitation,
Oh, yeah.
so it'll be the next.
Okay, seeing none, is there anybody online? Nope. All right, we'll move to agenda item number 3, acceptance and approval of minutes, March 26, 2025 meeting for possible action. Do any board members have any questions or concerns on the meeting minutes? If not, I'll entertain a motion for approval.
Move approval.
We have a motion for approval. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion passes. We'll move to agenda item number 4, Chief Medical Officer report. Who is going to be providing that? Is it up north?
It's at the table now.
Okay. Is it Mr. Valente?
Yes, it is, sir.
Valiente?
Valiente.
There you go. Go ahead, sir.
Good afternoon, Governor, Attorney General, Secretary of State. For the record, I'm Vincent Valiente, Senior Inspector for the Nevada Division of Public and Behavioral Health. You already have a copy of my report, so I'll briefly highlight some important points. As required by the NRS, the Division of Public and Behavioral Health conducts regular inspections of state correctional facilities. Our inspections include medical, dietary sanitation, and nutritional adequacy. In the report you have, we provided corrective actions and updates to violations identified within 6 prisons during the 2024 dietary and sanitation annual inspections and our concerns moving forward. Common themes of the 2024 sanitation deficiencies identified among correctional facilities were lack of proper equipment sanitation, disabled and non-functioning dishwashers, non-working culinary equipment, issues with multiple walk-in cooler units and inadequate refrigeration capacity, poorly maintained plumbing and sewer systems, trash removal, presence of insects and rodents, and defective machines within the laundry facilities. Most deficient practices are addressed during these inspections by alternative operational approaches, training, and also NDOC compliance enforcement follow-up. Some deficient practices have a longer timeline of correction. Examples of these corrective actions are outlined in this report. Moving forward, we will continue to advise the Department of Corrections to enhance infection prevention and control measures at all prison facilities. For more information, please refer to our detailed report. With this, I am concluding my remarks, and I will be happy to answer any questions you have. Thank you.
Do you have the corrections?
For this?
They only submitted the 3-page report that you have here.
So, Mr. Valiente,
Yes, sir.
you said corrections are identified in the report and they're not identified. The only,
In the main report too, yes.
is your report only 3 pages because it,
Yeah,
What
3
I'm saying-
pages. So page 2, for example, under Ely State, or this is say under Northern Nevada Correctional. For example, last year I identified severe sewage issues under the culinary during inspection, which caused for some operational changes, of course, the temporary changes, and then the project was put in place to correct that issue.
which facility did you get?
So I'm just giving you an example. So under Northern Nevada Correctional Center, it said for number 1, potential for cross-contamination, including sanitation, water, sewage, and plumbing. I just put bullet point, the crawl space under the culinary has been remediated and damaged plumbing has been repaired and replaced since then. The next one was equipment not properly sanitized. The high-temperature dish machine has been repaired,
Okay, so-
and then a replacement dish machine has been purchased and pending installation for the June of 2025.
Okay, so I was making reference, if you, let's use it as an example, Lovelock Correctional Center.
Yes,
Second page says other updates. Culinary ovens have continued to be not working properly.
yes, sir.
So does that mean there was no correction to it? It's an ongoing problem?
It's an ongoing
Is that how-
problem. Yes, sir. And I haven't received any updates that it has been corrected. I believe the concern was with the equipment rotating and not properly moving, so it had to be manually rotated.
All right, so Director Zarenda, you want to provide some
Yeah,
clarification?
during this legislative session, a series of capital improvement projects were approved. Lovelock was one of those areas of the culinary that was approved. Northern Nevada approved a new, whole new culinary building. And attached to the building, a whole new laundry building attached. But every single culinary rooms in each of our facilities has been either funded by ARPA funds to repair and upgrade, or have been approved in the capital improvement project for upgrade, but every single culinary has been addressed.
Okay, then outside of the culinary, what about the cleaning, washing machines?
So the washing machines were also part of capital improvement projects. They were all funded also in this year's budget for replacement of laundry equipment.
So are you saying in review of this report, there isn't anything that's not being addressed?
Correct.
Any other questions?
Yeah, that would include the dishwashing machine then?
Those were all, there was a series of them, and the only one that wasn't part of it was a fairly new one that they added already into High Desert. That one was not part of the capital improvement.
Okay, thank you. That was my question.
They already did those. They did High Desert and Southern Desert was already.
And Governor, if I may?
Sure, yes, sir.
Ely State Prison, I've been in close communication with the facility, and they currently have a project completing the plumbing and flooring repair for the culinary, and it's been anticipated completion date at the end of August.
Okay. Well, Mr. Valiente, in future reports, this is an annual report, am I correct?
This is a biannual, so my next report will be most likely at the end of the year, and that will include the findings from 2025 inspections.
Okay, but inclusive of the report, can you add the remediation that did take place on these identified items? Are you able to do that?
For the next report?
Yeah,
So, so my on-site inspections, you want me to include corrective actions taken as well?
if you have that capability in coordination with the NDOT. So,
So, yeah, so during my inspections, I will look for these corrective actions while I am on site, and I can also provide those in the report.
thank you. Do you have anything else to add, Mr. Valente?
I do not, Governor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
We'll move on to agenda item number 5, director's comments and departments updates. Mr. Zarenda.
Yeah, so the biggest updates for Department of Corrections was the updates from this session and the budget approvals, capital improvement project approvals, and what has just started, which has been 2 years waiting, was tablets. We're just started in our institutions, which we'll go over with programs as well. But they have all been installed. The very first facility was Northern Nevada Transitional Housing. This week coming up, and Monday they'll be moving down to Casa Grande Transitional Housing in Las Vegas, and then they're going to be targeting the other facilities, starting with High Desert State Prison. Once these tablets are all in place, once they get assembled at the facility, they will be able to utilize them for video visiting. And I saw one of the questions in the letters that were sent to the board about not replacing in-person visits. They will not be a tablet. The tablet visits will not be replacing in-person visits. In-person visits will continue as they are. It'll just provide an opportunity to do both, or either or. So that'll just be an addition to. A lot of the tablet programming we'll be going over when we do our presentation on the programs under this, in this agenda. The other piece is that we have approval to upgrade our Notice, which is our offender management system, to be able to do calculations, which will be more transparent for sentencing. So the sentencing calculations will be able to be performed on day one when the offender arrives in the institution and it's entered into the system, which right now it's all done by paper and can fluctuate depending on programs and whatever the offender has or completed. This will put the sentencing date as if they have already have done it. So it'll tell them what it will be as long as they continue to do everything, not what it could be. So that's really all the biggest updates. The agency is full with the correctional staffing right now. There's not a problem anymore with the vacancy rates. The biggest problems with the corrections is having the approval from that is going to be reviewed from a consulting company that came out and evaluated each of our posts to see what posts we actually need to operate the facility. So that's going to be the next step with the agency to really get the identification of posts that are needed to run the facilities under budget. But that's all I have.
Do we have any questions of Mr. Zarenda, Director Zarenda?
I don't.
So, Jim, in the recent months, we've had a significant increase in gang-on-gang. What are we doing to address that particular issue?
So right now, the issues that we were having with the gang-on-gang incidents that were happening are at the High Desert State Prison. And what happened was when we moved the staff, the offenders and the staffing numbers down to High Desert from Ely, the staff that were at the facility were not aware of what procedures they needed to really do, even though they were trained in it. So we revamped all the training for the correction officers down at High Desert, which you start seeing a reduction in the incidents already, just in making sure they have the right tools and training, having the double training that they already have, redone it to make sure that they're okay. But it really is all down at the High Desert.
So it's not a classification issue?
No, it's not.
All right. If there are no further questions, we will move on to agenda item number 6, program division update. Will that be Emily?
Yes.
Go ahead whenever you're ready.
All right. Good afternoon, Governor Lombardo and Attorney General Ford. My name is Emily Testweed, and I'm the Deputy Director of Programs with the Department of Corrections. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share some of the amazing work currently taking place in our department, as well as our future plans and strategic goals within the Programs Division. I would like to start by sharing what is currently under the program's purview to provide a better understanding of our organizational structure. At the facility level, we have Associate Warden of Programs and caseworker classification staff. We have chaplains, recreational specialists, and librarians providing services and coordinating activities. We also have internal staff providing programs, structured pro-social activities, and reentry services. Mental health, substance use, and medical staff fall under the purview of our medical director. In a centralized capacity and in supportive roles, we have the Offender Management Division, including our small but mighty stats team, a Victim Services Coordinator, Family Services Coordinator, Reentry Administrator, Volunteer Coordinator, as well as educational support staff. We also have support from a Policy Management Analyst, a Reentry Administrator who oversees the reentry team. Programs also has oversight over 2 transitional housing centers in Las Vegas and Reno. The Programs Division has long-standing partnerships with local school districts and colleges, both of which have educators providing instruction for high school diplomas, GEDs, college degrees, and vocational certifications in all of our major institutions and most of our facilities. In addition, the department currently has over 350 volunteers and community partners coming into our facilities to provide meaningful programs and structured activities and services. Programs play a crucial role in rehabilitation, reducing recidivism, and minimizing idle time within the institutions. Studies show that offenders who participate in educational or vocational training are significantly less likely to reoffend. By equipping individuals with job skills, mental health support, and problem-solving techniques, these programs can foster long-term behavioral change and reduce the likelihood of returning to prison. By reducing recidivism and keeping offenders engaged, these programs not only improve public safety and the safety of our facilities, but also reduce the financial burden of repeated incarcerations. In January of last year, we had approximately 10% of our population actively participating in programs at any given time. We have nearly doubled that number as of a current snapshot pulled this month. We have spent the past year building up our programs menu, strengthening our community engagement and partnerships, increasing pro-social activities and peer-led programs, and implementing process improvement strategies. It is our goal to not only continue to invest resources on evidence-based programming, educational and religious-based services, vocational training and treatment, and reentry services, but also reduce the idle time by providing programs and activities that create a sense of purpose and discipline among those incarcerated, promoting a safer correctional environment for all. I would like to highlight a few initiatives that we've been working on this year. At the transitional housing centers, we introduced pickleball and working on establishing gardens at both. At Casa Grande, program staff, in conjunction with the American Job Center and Hope for Prisoners, implemented comprehensive reentry case planning and matching residents with needed programs and services. Our reentry team coordinated with our facilities and community-based providers, state and local agencies, to hold reentry resource fairs for those close to release. At Lovelock Correctional Center, we recently implemented a new community living unit to include peer-led structured activities and a level system, and we hope to expand this model to other facilities. We have dog training programs at several of our facilities, including a new program at Northern Nevada Correctional Center, Liberty Dogs, who work with and support veterans in our community. We have been working with Nevada Prison Education Project to expand creative writing workshops to all of our facilities, and currently the classes are being offered at NNCC, Lovelock, Southern Desert Correctional Center. Hope for Prisoners Vocational Village and Program Unit at Southern Desert Correctional Center has been open for just about a year now, and we are offering participants wraparound case management services, substance use programs, CDL training, masonry, electrical, plumbing, welding, and HVAC. Through our partnership with CSN, HVAC, culinary, and hospitality courses are offered at Florence McClure Women's Correctional Center. The department is currently in the process of implementing tablets across all of our facilities. And through free program applications, offenders will have access to educational, vocational, wellness, spiritual and religious, behavioral health, and reentry-based content and programming. The tablets will provide the opportunity for our program staff to create pathways for learning and supplement current programming with this content to address participants' needs. For the first time, Nevada is represented in the Warden's Exchange Program through Prison Fellowship. It's a 24-week program to help foster relationships with peers and correctional leaders nationwide and dive deep into their values and how they want to lead, change, and inspire. And this program began in January. In the upcoming year, we will continue to increase and strengthen community partnerships and program opportunities, but also implement individualized case planning and targeted programs and services in a more streamlined way based on needs, interest, and career pathways. We will work to improve data collection and reporting to make strategic, data-driven decisions about program operations and process improvements. And in doing so, we will be better equipped to begin revamping our classification systems. Lastly, we are incredibly grateful to our dedicated staff working to keep everyone safe and to help improve the lives of the individuals while in our custody for better and safer outcomes for when they return to our communities. We are also extremely grateful for all the support we receive from our state and local agencies, community partners, volunteers, and educators who join us in this mission. Thank you again for your time, and I'll now pass the presentation over to my colleague, Deputy Director Kwenga.
Good afternoon, Governor Lombardo, Attorney General Ford, and Secretary Aguilar. For the record, my name is Bill Kwenga, Deputy Director of Industrial Programs for the Nevada Department of Corrections. Thank you for having me today to provide an update on Silver State Industries, prison industries. According to NRS 219.461.2, every program for the employment of offenders established by the director must A, employ the maximum number of offenders possible.
Director Kwenga,
Yes, sir.
can you hang on? You're moving on to a different agenda item.
Okay.
I want to make sure we ask any questions of Ms. Tesley before we move on. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Emily, for the presentation. I wonder, and I don't know if it's going to be you or the next piece of testimony, but we in public comment heard a question about utilizing the internet for the auto tech program. Is there anything that you can say that speaks to that issue, or are we moving that direction? Is it possible and feasible and probable? What can you tell me about that?
For the record, Bill Kwenga, Attorney General Ford, that would fall under my purview, working with the ASC program with the Western Nevada College. We are in communication collaboration right now. We'll get more details about that. I don't have any details to share on that, but I'll be working with our partner in the community and Western Nevada College to get more information on that.
All right, thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any clarification?
No, with the tablets, the difference with internet is the internet has a security issue.
Right.
The security issue is because they can tap into lines that are not appropriate or criminal lines that they can do. So what the agency is doing is a system that with the tablets, it doesn't connect to the internet. It connects to a modular system that's in our PBX room that allows us to be able to transfer information in and out based upon what we approve. It looks like internet, it involves internet, but it doesn't give the offender the actual internet access. Right now, there is no capability for internet access for offenders.
Are you contemplating, and again, I can wait till Bill presents it if it's better there, but are you contemplating the program that you just described being able to be utilized to assist with what we heard in public comment on the auto tech thing?
Yes.
Okay.
It's going to tap into the same system.
Okay.
Not internet, though, but it will.
Got it. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Governor, may I bring another piece to that?
Go ahead.
So the internet, so the reason we need the internet in the ASC program is when the offenders do go through the program and as they test, they must go direct to the internet for the testing. They cannot do it any other way. They have to log on to through the internet for their testing for their ASC certifications. and I'll get more detail on that.
Okay.
Any other questions? Secretary Aguilar, any questions?
No questions. Thank you.
Ms. Teswe, can you just give me a little better sense of the Hope for Prisoner program at Southern Nevada Correctional? Like, what is the success that you're seeing out of that program?
We are due to have them report out on their metrics post-release as of the end of June, and we'll be able to share all of that with you at that
Okay.
point.
Let's make sure we get it on the agenda. All right, if there are no further questions, we will move on to agenda item number 7, Prison Industries Update. Director Quinga.
Good afternoon, Governor Lombardo, Attorney General Ford, and Secretary Aguilar. For the record, my name is Bill Quenga, Deputy Director of Industrial Programs for the Nevada Department of Corrections. Thank you for having me here today to provide an update on Silver State Industries, Prison Industries. And according to NRS 209.461.2, every program for the employment of offenders established by the director must, A, employ the maximum number of offenders possible. Our mission is to reduce government operating costs, provide offenders the skills and certifications necessary to successfully re-enter society, and enhance the safe operation of correctional facilities. About Silver State Industries is a self-supporting operation providing job training, certifications, and marketable skills for offenders in the production of goods and services. We are mandated to be profitable at no direct cost to the taxpayer. Approximately 360 offenders work in prison industries programs at this time and are routinely placed in quality professions upon release. In our operations, we have operations throughout the state, including Northern Nevada Correctional Center, Southern Desert Correctional Center, Lovelock Correctional Center, and High Desert State Prison. The shops mimic the structure of the outside world and are as follows. We have a print shop, furniture shop, metal shop, mattress shop, ranch, garment, and auto. We have partners on the outside also that we partner with, whether through a contract, card sorting, Erickson Framing, Sewing Collections, Nevada Organics, Compost, BLM Horse Program, and we have the tag plan that reports to Prison Industries. One of the things we look for when partnering with outside companies is that they provide the skills that can be used to gain employment in the community, and or the companies offer a pathway for the offender to continue employment upon release. We have several offenders who have been employed by Erickson Framing while incarcerated and have gone straight to work for them when released. We have a very successful partnership with WNC's welding program since 2002. Offenders have graduated from this program with associate's degrees as well as a variety of welding certifications. Graduates have been able to earn lucrative wages both while incarcerated and after release. One offender who learned to weld in the Prison Industries program got out last year after serving 20 years. He is now the general manager for a steel company locally. In 2023, we formed a partnership along with Western Nevada College and a local dealership to facilitate offenders at Northern Nevada Correction Center to earn ASE certifications. Already one offender has gained successful employment upon reentry to society. We are working with other companies in the community to bring on more trades. In our partnership with the Bureau of Land Management, we house nearly 1,400 horses at the ranch at Stewart Conservation Camp. The next wild horse in burro adoption will be June 21st, 2025 at 10 a.m., where we'll have 18 horses for adoption and 1 burro. Also add our chief horse trainer, Hank Curry, will be retiring, and we will have a function for him on June 22nd at Genoa Park at 2 p.m. Certifications. In addition to the regular wages, offender workers are also able to earn certifications from the American Welding Society, screen printing, and forklift operations. Last week, we hosted a graduation ceremony for Western Nevada College at Northern Nevada Correctional Center. There were 11 graduates who earned 13 degrees. 6 received their Associates of General Studies, 4 earned certificates of achievement in auto mechanics, 2 earned their certificates of achievement in welding, and 1 graduate with an Associates of Applied Science in Welding. These degrees and certifications are transferable to employers on the outside and translate to marketable skills for the offenders. This gives the workers a great ability to support themselves and their families, which contributes to an overall sense of self-worth. Upcoming endeavors. SSI is in negotiations with Sustainable Reform Solutions to bring jobs to offenders at Florence McClure Women's Correctional Center. Sustainable Reform Solutions repurposes ink cartridges for printers. Part of the program allows offenders to go to work for the company upon release. We're also in talks with Erickson Trust in the South, which is opening a facility in Jean, Nevada, near Jean Conservation Camp. The work camp associated with Florence McClure's Correctional Center. The trust company is currently in the process of fixing up a over 200,000 square foot facility where they will manufacture trusses, windows, and doors, along with an HVAC operation. Once complete, the trust company would have enough work to employ all the female offenders at Jean Conservation Camp. The company is also hopeful to partner with Silver State Industries and the College of Southern Nevada, which is offering a training program at the Women's Correctional Center. Erickson Trust would hire the females offenders who can complete the HVAC program once they are released into the community. This concludes my presentation today. With that, I will open up to any questions, but first I want to extend an invitation to anyone on the board who would like to take a tour of Prison Industries. The best way to understand the benefits of what we do is to see for yourself and speak firsthand to the offenders who work in our operations. I will be happy to personally give a tour to any of the board members. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Director. Do we have any questions of Mr. Cuenca? Go ahead.
Just real quickly, less of a question and more. I just want to say thank you for that good work. You and, I know we're past agenda item 6, but when I hear those programs, it makes me excited. So thank y'all. And I think these are the programming, the prison industry stuff. It's good stuff that you're doing for the offenders inside. And I think I heard Emily say that only 10% of folks are taking advantage of programming, and you've doubled it. I would love to see that number increase even more. I don't know what it takes to make that happen and why people wouldn't want to engage in that. But Bill, what I guess we have a question. What percentage of folks are using the prison industry programming and opportunities?
For the record, Bill Quang, asking what percentage of the population, total population of Department of Corrections, sir?
Yeah, or number, if you have a number. It sounds like I heard a number whispered to me.
I do not. I can only guess. Our population is about 10.5 right now, and we only have 360, so we're way below 10% right now. We're trying to move that up. So we had some changes, mission statement in the department, move some stuff around, and so we're reorganizing and trying to recruit some more, put some more offenders into work in the shops.
Okay. But anyway, kudos. I enjoy hearing the work you guys are doing, and I hope we can continue to expand that.
Thanks, sir.
Secretary Aguilar, any questions?
No questions, sir. Thank you.
All right, we'll move on to agenda item number 8, medical division update. Dr. Williams.
Going by my director, yeah. I'll start off with medical, thank you, Governor, General, and Secretary Aguilar. I'll start off with medical services in general, and then I will, Dr. Kim Williams, Medical Director, NDOC. And then I will pass off to Director Fees, who takes care of our substance use treatment folks. I'm happy to share with you that we, in medical, we have one vacancy for dentist at Southern Desert. We have one vacancy for a senior psychiatrist that we just offered, and someone accepted to take that position. We've got 2, and I'm speaking of legislatively approved positions. We certainly need more help. We've got 2 positions for senior physicians at High Desert, and we've just offered one of those positions to someone, and they've accepted. So we are making grounds in terms of staffing. I'm also happy to report that we have a signed contract for SIPS, which is the Correctional and Inpatient Pharmacy System. That system will allow us to have a point of care entry and order. So, so to put it in context, what we've had to do is a provider would write an order, then we have to fax the order to the pharmacy, then the pharmacy would process it, then they would fill it and return it. This takes us online so that we cut down the time that it takes to get the order from the provider to the pharmacy. The time to fill it is only 24 hours on average, and then get the prescription back to the facility and in the hands of the actual patient. So we have a signed contract. We are working out some of the kinks on transitioning from an internal system to a cloud-based system. And we anticipate on going into some training in July and then going live in August. So that is a major success for us. We also are happy that we have a letter of intent for our Pyxis system, which controls our inventory so that we can reduce the frequency where controlled medications may go missing. All right. The Pyxis system is it's a computer system, and it will connect directly to the pharmacy. So we have real-time audits. So we know in real time when a medication is removed from the system and distributed to a patient. That will greatly reduce diversion and enhance our control. I'm also happy to share that will be in place everywhere except for the camps. So that's a positive thing. We have stood up our post-release medication plan, which is a cost-saving measure. So instead of filling medications for our patients when they are released and then handing it to them or sending the prescription to the pharmacy and maybe they pick it up, maybe they don't, we've partnered with a vendor, so now we can hand them a card, all right? So now no matter where they go, within 5 days, they can order their prescriptions. That avoids us filling prescriptions unnecessarily. That's a waste and a cost to the state. So that is another cost avoidance that is up and running now. And then the last good thing that I would really like to share is that we have been approved for the state prescription donation program. That's another cost avoidance for us. With that program, in scenarios where there's a patient that is in an oncology center or another state system and their prescription is filled, but it's not picked up for whatever reason, then they are able to donate that prescription to the system. We're able to accept that donation so that we can obtain medications at a lower cost. So these are all cost avoidance and increased efficiency measures that we've implemented.
Good work. So, General Ford, I don't know if you recall, 2.5 years ago, we were talking about this.
Yeah. That's a good report.
Now it's all in place.
That's a good report.
So,
At this time, we'll turn to some discussion about MOUD.
I'm Robin Feast, Substance Use Disorder Program Director, Department of Corrections. I'm here to talk to you about medications for opioid use disorder, so I'll call it MOUD from this point forward. MOUD is an evidence-based treatment that uses 3 FDA medications, methadone, buprenorphine, or naltrexone. That, coupled with behavioral health services, counseling, life skills training, reentry services, can really reduce recidivism, increase public safety, get people re-engaged back into the workforce and their families. In a carceral setting, it decreases overdoses. It prevents people with chronic relapse and cravings from buying drugs on the yard, incurring debt, the ripple effect of that, to be able to go through medical to get the help that they need. What we've done for Department of Corrections is we started our efforts about 5 years ago, having nothing, literally no staff, no policies. We had a partnership with Behavioral Health Group, and they were coming into our program units to talk to people releasing about MOUD services, telling them what it was, and once you release, if you'd like to continue services, this is what it was. We started asking them, would you have capacity to do telemed services and have your nurses come in to provide services for MOUD for people in our custody? And the answer was yes. And through that partnership came Department of Human and Health Services with Director Whitley and Chief Cook. that they were really able to partner with financials that would help us hire 4 LPNs at our facilities where we're offering MOUD, program officers that are embedded in our intake facility centers so we can do drug and alcohol screenings and really have real accurate information of who in custody, what is their percentage of substance use disorder to inform us of what treatment we really need. I like to describe MOUD as a tool. It's not the tool. It's not a tool for everybody. It's as if I'm talking to you right now and in your head you hear heroin constantly. It would make it difficult to pay attention to what I'm doing or the task at hand. However, for some people that struggle with substance use disorder, that is the case. The part of your brain where those triggers are different than the part of the brain where talk therapy hits. So when you marry medications for people that chronically relapse with talk therapy, you see a reduction in recidivism because I can focus on what you're saying. I can focus on what I'm supposed to be doing. What we've done is take people that are stabilized on buprenorphine in county jail and transition them to Sublocade injection when they're in our custody. The decision for the injection was it's hard to divert an injection in your body that lasts 30 days. Easier to divert a film or a tablet that you can cheat. So at this point, where we're at now, we partner with the Department of Human Health Services. We applied for SAMHSA hosts a policy academy every year. It's called Advancing MOUD in Carceral Settings. All states can apply. They take 5 states per year. We were accepted this year. So in Arizona, we went to Arizona in April. Team from Department of Corrections, a team from DHHS, a team from Behavioral Health Group. We went from skeletal policy to a policy that can stand up to scrutiny. Workflow that outlines what everyone is doing. Forms. We not only focus on what we're doing now, which is stabilizing people who are on buprenorphine in county jail. We continue them in our custody, but we want to expand to be able to induce individuals on it who are in our custody, because there are people in setting now that struggle with chronic relapse. And the danger of that is not only to the person for overdosing, but to our officers and our other staff that work within the facilities. To do that, we need more staff. We need providers that are specific for MOUD or financial support to outsource that. We need more nursing staff to be able to induce individuals on it. And obviously medication costs, the cost to prescribe and order that. So the fact that it's taken us 5 years to get to this point, we are very proud of what the department has done, from using existing staff to get us to where we are, DHHS partnering with us to provide us additional staff to really stabilize the growth we've seen. And now that next level is how do we project out for if we were to induce individuals on buprenorphine and not just keep people that are only stabilized on it when they come to our custody. That's where we're at with MOUD for Department of Corrections.
Robin, how come the county jail uses different protocol than the state prison?
Different protocol meaning different medication?
Yeah.
The cost. We've met with each, the original goal was that the people that were on buprenorphine in county jail would receive their first injection in custody of county jail and then transition to us, which would give Department of Corrections 30 days to work out everything. And it was a resounding, there's no way. The cost for one injection to the cost of the tablets, it's about $1,500 to $2,000 per injection. And county jails cannot swing that. So they can keep them on buprenorphine.
And are you going to remain under, or are you moving under the healthcare authority or staying with the?
Under Dr. Flags.
Okay. Okay.
He can't get it.
We make a good team, sir.
General Ford.
Couple questions. Thank you for the report on that. So I want to be certain I know that there's a difference. So MOUD, is that different from medicated assisted treatment?
Yeah, the correct terminology now would be medications for opioid use disorder.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it used
So
to be
you won't
MAT.
even see in policy, it's MAT. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're transitioning away from MAT as just verbiage. using
Okay.
MOUD, yeah.
All right, which leads to another question. So did I hear you right? We don't have the programming at every facility?
Right now, we have staffing at High Desert, Southern Desert, TLVCC, so everywhere in Indian Springs. NNCC, Stewart Camp, Women's, Jean, and then the inmates housed at the transitional housing are able to go directly to the clinics to seek the services. We don't have it at Ely or Lovelock, and that comes down to finding providers and nursing that can actually go there to administer the medication.
I see. Are you able to utilize, and are you guys utilizing opioid settlement funds?
That's where all this is coming.
That's what's coming from.
Yeah.
Great,
We're tapped in with
That-
the health department.
great. Right, I
And
wondered
the
about
SOAR
that
grant
because, I mean,
funds.
when you're talking about expanding this, just my knowledge of the litigation, this falls perfectly within what these monies are intended for. And if they're showing efficacy, it seems to me, I'm not making the decision, I don't get to make the decision, but it seems to me that it makes perfect sense to be able to tap into opioid settlement funds to facilitate these. Because we actually passed a statute, Governor, you signed it, that talked about carceral settings having to require, I called it MAC back then, but MOUD. So grateful to hear that this is moving forward. So great work.
The one thing I didn't share with you is that opiate settlement money will allow us to hire a MAC coordinator.
Exactly. Good.
Yeah, so that'll be nice to have one person designated to really oversee this instead of just having partners within the department who have other jobs working together to make it.
So you said we don't have an alien Lovelock because of the lack of folks who can administer injections. So
Because right now we're using behavioral health group. Nurses come in. Once Department of Corrections takes it over, then we would be able to expand.
okay.
They've agreed to help train our staff, and then we can hand that task over to our staff.
And what's the time frame we're looking at on that? Do we know?
Our first year grant ends September 30th, and so year 2, the plan would be for our department to start to take that over. So behavioral health group providers would still provide telemed services, but then our NDOC medical staff would administer the injections. So then we could target anyone, anywhere.
Good work. I like that.
Yeah.
I like it. Good report.
Secretary Aguilar, any questions?
No questions, but I apologize. I have to jump. Thank you.
Okay, we're coming to the end anyway.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Thank you.
We'll let the record reflect he's on hold. All right, move to agenda item number 9, administrative regulation not subject to NRS 233B process for discussion and possible action. Director Zerinde.
Yeah, so AR Administrative Regulation 521, custody categories and criteria only has 2 changes to this administrative regulation. The first one is that HRP is a criteria that we use. It's high-risk potential offenders. We have been using that term for years in the Department of Corrections. However, it was never identified in a regulation or policy of what it actually means and what it takes in what process to get on it and how to get off and what you're required. So it formalizes what HRP really is with the classification so that everybody understands it and formalizes it. The other piece of it was high minimum security. Even though it's in the regulation, there's no such thing as high minimum security. We have not used it. We've never used it. So it's really just a removal of that from the actual regulation. That's it.
Do you have any questions? No. All right. All right, no more questions. I'll entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
Can we do identify it as separate
Yes.
A and B?
Yes, sir. I move for approval of 521 and 521B.
All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. We'll move to the second opportunity of public comment. This period of public comment is for any matter that is within the jurisdiction of this public body. No action may be taken upon a matter raised under the public comment period. We will limit your comments to 3 minutes. Please state your first and last name for the record, and we will go to Carson City first. Do you have any public comment there in Carson City?
Governor, we have one coming up to the podium.
Get the video to switch.
Good afternoon, Governor Lombardo, Attorney General Ford. My name is Denise Heredia, and I'm the Associate Director of Return Strong, an organization led by families and people directly impacted by incarceration. We're asking this board to restore weekly in-person visits at all facilities, especially the largest ones where access has already been reduced. Right now, many families are only allowed to visit twice a month, and in some cases, not even that, depending on availability. These changes haven't been implemented statewide yet, but where they have, families are struggling. With more people trying to visit and fewer appointments available, many are being shut out. In-person visits are a core part of supporting mental health, maintaining family bonds, and setting people up for successful reentry. We understand the staffing challenges. We know it takes adequate personnel to keep both our loved ones and staff safe inside. But while the system stretches to meet these needs, families are stretching too, working twice as hard to keep our connections intact, our loved ones grounded, and our families whole. As the oldest daughter of a first-generation immigrant family, a big sister, a mother, a wife, I know what that burden feels like. Our families do everything we can to stay together, and that fight to keep our families whole doesn't stop at prison doors. Studies show that even one visit can reduce the likelihood of someone reoffending by up to 25%, and that is public safety. That's common sense. But this is also about dignity. Some families drive hours, some drive days. They take time off work and sacrifice financially, only to be told there are no appointments left. If the department's mission is truly to improve public safety by creating safe and humane conditions and preparing people for successful reentry, then prioritizing in-person visitation must be a part of that strategy. We also want to acknowledge and thank Director Zarenda for addressing families' concerns that tablet visits would replace in-person visits by stating that that will not be happening. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's it for the north, Governor.
Hi,
Welcome.
my name is Carrie Honstein, and you kind of touched base on why we're here. We were under the understanding that maybe the tablets were going to replace in-person visits. And for me, my husband is in the hole and has been for almost 3.5, 4 months now, just waiting placement into BMU. And for us, in-person visits, that's the only time he gets out of the hole. And he's been in there a long time. So in-person visits are very important for people that are in the hole. Well, for everybody, for families and for our loved ones' psychiatric mental health. And so our concern was that we were going to replace visits with the tablets, and we've kind of covered that. So it makes me feel better. And I think for all of us, that people that have kids and children and you know, just human touch and being able to talk to your loved one, especially when you're locked down many hours of the day. And I think that's real important. So we just hope that stays that way, and hoping that we get the weekly visits back.
Pam, can you identify yourself? I don't know if you did.
Carrie Honstein.
Sure, go ahead.
I might need to
Jerry,
be correct.
You wanna,
Oh, no.
you wanna just
I'm going to say it generally because I don't think I'm allowed to like respond specifically.
Right.
I can talk, right? I'm looking at my council, so I'll mess this up. I would just say generally that I do not believe the current circumstance is punitive in nature. I think that under Director Zarenda, he has every understanding about the importance of in-person visits. We've had this conversation before about cutting back for various reasons. I think this one is a quite legitimate concern about overtime costs and figuring out the best ways to allocate resources. I don't personally view this and would not want this to be viewed as a permanent circumstance. We would need to ascertain how best to accommodate what the director needs so that we can continue to facilitate the in-person visitation. I couldn't agree more. Obviously, it's very important for not just the offender, but also the family. So, but I did want to, for the record, I don't view this as a punitive effort on the part of the Department of Corrections at all. And it's not something that I don't think is permanent either. So I didn't break the rules, did I? Looking at my people, you said.
I'm saying, yeah, you did.
Oh, okay.
You're going the wrong way.
Thanks, good.
Thank you. All right, anybody else wishing to speak? Okay. All right, we'll close the second opportunity for public comment and we'll move for adjournment.
Move for adjournment.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks. That was Friday, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Mike's is still. So be quiet.